All right, gang, today we're doing something a little bit different. What we're making is a pad for my random orbit sanders. I use two of them. I use a Vivor, which I have a review on. These are good sanders, brushless motor, and a rigid. Both of these are 6-inch sanders. 5's more common, but I use them on kind of an industrial scale, so I got the bigger ones. What happens though is these use a hook and loop or a Velcro sanding disc, and you can see they get chewed up a little bit in here, and that can damage the sanding pad that comes with the sander. And those are expensive. Those are like 30 bucks a piece. I used to go through them, a couple times a year. So what I have made from like a scrap 1/8-inch hardboard is a sanding pad. It's hard because it's hardboard. That has the hook and loop A on one side and the hook and loop B on the other side. So basically what you do is you just stick it to the sander, and then when it gets damaged, you take it off, you throw it away, and you put a new one on. These probably cost me less than 50 cents to make. The hardboard is like free. Basically, it's scrap that I have. And the Velcro, I'll leave a link in the description. You get, enough for 20 of them for $8. So I used to buy these foam pads. And these are okay, they work. They have the Velcro A on the one side, the Velcro B on the other side. But if you're sanding something flat, they're foam, so they're soft, and you don't get a, they're great for curves, like on a Strat body or something, the forearm curve. But flat, they're not very good on, so I don't like to use those on flat pieces. Anyhow, you can make them by hand, or you can make them by CNC like we normally do here. If you batch them out like I do about 6 at a time on my CNC, and I think the cycle time on that is like 3 minutes. So let's get into it. Okay, here we are on a blank screen like I normally do, and we'll get to programming this thing. I want to show you how to program it just in case you want to modify it. You'll have the knowledge to do that instead of just starting you with the file. All right, so let's do the material setup. As per usual, I have my whole machining window is what I use as a size because I do everything in the middle. And the thickness of my material, I'm using 1/8-inch hardboard. So I will put in 1/8 of an inch. And my sanders are 6-inch sanders, not 5. Yours may be 5. So I want a 6-inch diameter circle starting at 0, 0. So I want to create that. Then, and you're going to have to bear with me a little bit here, on mine there's 6 holes for dust extraction. And I have measured those with my caliper and found that those are, the diameter of that is about 3 1/8 inch. Okay, so there you go. And now I know what you're saying, well, why'd you put in this other circle here? Well, I'll show you in a little bit because we need something that is going to tell us where to put those holes. If we only had 4 of them, we could put 1, 2, 3, 4. If we had 8 of them, we could make another X and put it in. We only got 6 of them. And you could put in more if you want, but I'm just going to put in 6. Here's how I do it. Okay? This is how I do it. And so you don't have to do it this way, but this just makes sense to me. I am going to draw a polygon, and my polygon is going to have 6 sides. And it's going to be in the center, and its radius is going to be half of 3 1/8, which is, what is that? 1.5 plus a 16th. 1.562. Okay, and let's create that. And there you go, 6-sided polygon right there. Now, why did I do that? Well, if you come in here and look, where each one of these corners
touches this circle is where we're going to put the dust extraction hole. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do draw a circle, and we're going to have the diameter of this circle 3/8 of an inch. That's what mine is. Again, your mileage may vary, right? Okay, so 0.375. And then we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to apply. Okay. So there you go. You don't need this extraneous information. We just use this circle and this polygon so we know where to put these circles, but we'll leave them in there. We just won't machine them. Okay. So now it just becomes a easy process of machining out this circle and machining out those holes. So let us do the holes first. Okay, we are gonna make them a pocket. A pocket is the easiest way to do it because I know that the diameter of my bit will remove all the material in there. I could do it as a profile, but I'm going to do it as a pocket, therefore it's universal for you guys, okay? So we'll do a pocket toolpath, and we'll do one, and I'm holding down the shift key so I can select more than one while I select each one of these. Okay, and we're going to cut it 125 deep because that's how thick our material is. We're going to use my standard 6-inch end mill. Convention 6 millimeter end mill. Conventional. We won't have to ramp the plunge moves because it's only 1/8 of an inch thick, and we're gonna call this dust holes. Okay. It'll tell us about those. There they are. And then we're just going to cut the outside. That is going to be a profile cut. And the cut depth is again 1/8 of an inch. We're going to go on the outside because that's our finished. Tabs, yes or no, depending on you hold yours down. I'm not going to put tabs on this one, but you can. We don't need ramps again because it's only 1/8 inch thick, so we're just going to call it outer profile. Calculate. Okay, we are going to run the simulation. That's what it looks like, all right, right there. Okay. So that's all there is to it. This is the file that you will get in SVG and PDF. And what I'm going to do is do it by hand. I'm not going to run this on the CNC in this video. Like I said, when I run them, I batch these on a big piece, and I'll make 6 or 8 of them at a time. But you might only be doing one. So instead of running it on my CNC, I will run it for you by hand to show you how I make them. And that's still only a 5 or 10 minute process. So let's get to that. Hey, if you like what you see here or you found it interesting or useful, why don't you give that subscribe button a click. Maybe give us a like, maybe hit the little bell thingy, lets you know when we put up new videos. What? Huh? Oh, my lawyer would like a word with you.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
All right, so the first step is just get a scrap piece. This is a piece of 1/8 inch hardboard. It's very smooth on one side, it's a little rough on the other. That concerns me a little bit about sticking the other side of the Velcro to it, but we'll see what happens. So first thing, all I'm going to do is take a sanding disc that I have that I normally put on my sander, and I'm going to put it on here, and I'm just going to trace around the outside. Around the outside, around the outside. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to trace in each one of these little circles for dust extraction. Okay, that's it. I think I'm just going to drill these holes here on the drill press, and I'll cut this outside on the bandsaw. Okay, these holes are give or take 3/8 of an inch, so that's what I have in the drill press. Let's take her to the bandsaw and cut her out. All right, here we go. The closer you get to the line, the less work you have to do later. Now you notice when I cut that out, I cut to the outside of the line. You can see the line right here. I left quite a bit actually. That's because I have the monster and it'll take me 3 seconds to grind that off on my great big belt sander. So let's go there next. All right, here's the monster. I got a 60 grit belt on there and I'm just gonna hold this and grind right to the line. Okay, I just cleaned up the back of this a little bit, the rough side, with just a sanding block, just to knock off some of that stuff. Make sure I get good adhesion. So I use 3M high strength. 77's okay, I like the high strength 90. And all we're gonna do is take a piece of Velcro A on one side and a piece of Velcro B on the other side. I don't know which one's really A or B, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just gonna basically cut this to about the right size. I'm probably gonna make it a little bit bigger. When I say a little bit, I mean like 1/8 of an inch too big. Okay, so let's just cut this. Velcro A. Velcro B. This is 6-inch wide Velcro here. This is 6-inch wide Velcro here, so it's just the size I want for width. It's kind of hard to cut. Either that or my scissors are really dull. A little from column A, a little from column B, I think. All right. Let's spray the adhesive. I want to get a pretty good coat on both sides. And I could do one side, then wait and spray the other, but I ain't got that kind of patience. Okay, we'll let this sit and dry. We could just prop it against something here, a little brake clean. Gotta let her dry for about 20 minutes. And we're gonna do the same on these. If you put them on both surfaces, you get much better adhesion, as you may know. Okay. Getting low on my can of glue here. Gotta watch the angle. All right, we'll let those dry for 20 minutes. We'll come by, we'll press them on. Okay, so like 20 minutes later, the spray glue is dry. How do you know it's dry? Because you can feel it like this. It maybe just feels a little tacky is all. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to just press this onto here because they both have sticky stuff on there. I'm going to press this on. I'm going to try to get it as centered as I can and just press it on. That's all there is to it. She'll stick. Now what I'm going to do, instead of pressing the other side on right now, I'm going to go... All right, so a little trick I use to stop the edges from fraying is take my propane torch and I heat up a punch. You don't got to get it glowing red. Plastic melts, give or take 350, maybe 400, depending on what kind of plastic it is. This is probably nylon. And I'll show you what we do here. All you got to do is run it into the hole. And I'm melting through both sides here. Gives you a nice edge that won't fray on you. There you go. Very nice. Looks like I got a little bit of that glue on there. But that's all there is to it. All right, now we're back at the monster, and all we're going to do is we're going to go around the edge and trim the Velcro to the same size as the disc. The monster don't care what it's cutting. Velcro, wood, steel, it doesn't matter. But there it is. Alright, so that's what it looks like when it's done. It's got Velcro A on one side, Velcro B on the other side, along with some stuff stuck to it. This is my Weaver. You can see a review of this, another video. Orbital sander. And all you do is stick the right side to the right side. I'm going to line up the dust collection holes. Here we go. Stick her down, and then just stick the pad to the other side. Let's give her a whirl. Okay, that's all there is to it. This will save your pad. I use my sanders almost every day. I have a couple of them. All of them are 6-inch ones, just for ease of paper, you know, but you could do it with a 5-inch one. The file is for a 6-inch one, the CAD files. Of course. Here's the part of the video you guys have been waiting for, the part where I give you the free coupon code. Just go to the link in the description and it'll take you to the file page and check out like normal, and when it tries to charge you, just put in that coupon code and it'll be free. The only thing that I ask in return is that you subscribe to the channel. Subscription's free also. Doesn't cost you anything. Maybe, you know, 2 seconds to click the button wherever it is. All right, let's get back to the video files. Of course, we did this by hand, but if you wanted to make a bunch of them, you could batch them out with the CAD file. If you use your Orbital sanders as much as I do, you wear out the pads. I have to replace these pads every once in a while. I use my sanders almost every day, so I use them, you know, more than most people, I guess. But I don't know, the cost of materials here was probably less than $1. And if you use those CAD files, you could batch out a whole bunch of these, you know, spacers. And now I've been using these for quite a while. And when they get bad, when either the Velcro kind of wears, or you know, you get to an edge and you chip the edge and you start losing sandpaper and that kind of stuff, you just replace them. It's no big deal. Does it save you a ton of money? No, but it saves you enough. Another thing that I like about these is this is the one that I bought, or the came in I think a 3-pack that I bought. These are foamy, they're sponge, there's some give to them, which is fine if you're doing a curved surface, but if you're doing a flat surface, I don't like that. What happens is it doesn't cut in kind of in towards the center. It's all on the outside. And I know they say you're not supposed to do this, but upon occasion there's a deep gouge I'm trying to get out, and I'll bend my sander to get the edge grinded in there. You know, and then you go over it and space it out, but I'm an impatient guy. You can't do that with these either. Also, I have found that these, especially when I'm doing like a tabletop, a steel table, and I use WD-40 or some kind of lubricant on there, these things go to hell right away. These guys stand up really good. All right, so that's about it. I use these things every day, so I can personally attest to how good they work. They're made for almost nothing. It's probably less than $1 for the Velcro, okay? And you know what, 5 cents for the adhesive and the scraps I had lying around. They work good. Those foam ones that you buy aren't that expensive, but you know, every dollar counts. So what would I do different? I don't know that I do anything different on these. I've made a couple batches now over the last, I don't know, year maybe. And you know, enough that I put them in a CNC file, which you know you guys can get for free. So I really like it. You can get that file for free. Also, if you have a 5-inch sander, I know the 5-inch sanders are probably, there's more of them out there than the 6-inch sander. Just size it down in the CAD file. It should be no big deal. And because the files I make them where 0 is the X and Y 0 is the center of the circle. If you just choose the outer diameter of the circle and squeeze it down, it'll be fine. Well, I hope you got something from this, and as always, please subscribe to the channel. It allows me to give you more free files and make more videos. Thanks a lot for joining me.